hell of a camp. You know, Kiko, I take my hat off to him. He tried his best. I knew he was going to come with his physical best. He was going to be strong, and he was definitely going to try hard. We stayed behind the jab, dictated the pace of the fight. Before, when we wanted to fight, we landed the harder, the cleaner shots, intellect over athleticism.
At what point in the fight did you realize that it's the Gary Russell show?
First round. First round is the most important round of the fight. You can gauge how strong a person is, how fast the person is, his response time, his punching ability and all that. I knew he couldn't get past my jab, he couldn't get past my stick. After the first round, I knew that we were going to dictate the entire pace of the fight.
How did you feel coming off knowing that you had some layoffs in your career?
No, I feel pretty good. You know, we stay in the gym all the time. We never really have any downtime that much. My weight never really fluctuates. I'm always in shape. I'm always ready.
Gary, congrats to you and your brothers, man.
I know. Thanks, man.
Yeah, I wanted to ask because, like, you know, I know you fought on cards with your brothers in the past, but, you know, how does it motivate you extra when you're in the corner with your brothers and you see them, you know, get great wins before your fights?
It definitely does. It definitely does. We pour our energy from each other. You know, I'm a wreck when my brothers compete, to be honest with you. I'm cool as a cucumber when I'm fighting because I think I have the ability to control what the outcome is. You know, I can't control the outcome of my younger brothers when they compete, but I have to have a level of trust and belief in their skill set to be able to follow through and get it done. And that's exactly what they did.
Gary, we talked before about you wanted to start your legacy, start getting bigger fights. How much of this tonight's win, the way you set everything up, the way you attacked them, was about getting those fights? The Santa Cruz, Gervonta Davis, literally putting a statement going, I'm ready, I want them, make them happen.
I've been wanting to make it happen. You know, ever since I became a world champion, all I wanted was a unification bout. Any of the guys that I've been competing against was guys that have worked their way all the way up the rankings to be able to challenge for the WC featherweight title of the world. If you pay attention to my shirt, see what you say, right? See what you say, right? Come on, man. You know, that's pretty much what it is. We wanted that fight for the longest. We've been trying to get that fight for the longest. We actually competed against Leo in the amateurs. I was the reason that he couldn't make it to the 2008 Olympic team because I was the 2008 Olympic. He couldn't get past me then. We had smaller gloves on. Well, we had bigger gloves and we had headgear on. Now the gloves is much smaller. No headgear. Skill set has improved much, much better. I think what you see with Leo, what you see is what you get. A lot of these guys, you know, they're one-dimensional. They don't have the ability to make the necessary adjustments. That's what we do.
Gary, great performance tonight. How would you assess your performance? What did you do that, what do you think that you did exceptionally, or what do you think you could work on?
We just controlled the entire pace of the fight. We dictated everything that went on. We controlled the pace. Whenever he wanted to come in and be physical, you know, we took subtle step backs, you know, controlled the ring generalship. All of that played a big factor. We made the fight very, very easy. It didn't look difficult at all. He couldn't get past my jab. My ring IQ was tremendous, and it was much more than what he was able to deal with.
Gary, I spoke to your brother, Xavier Fights.com. I spoke to your brother after his fight. 9-0, 9 KOs. He seems to be becoming a knockout artist.
That's right.
With you in his corner, is that going to be the ongoing plan for you to be in your brother's corner?
Of course.
No, before you have a next fight after?
Of course,
okay.
Of course. You know, we do this in our sleep. I've been competing since I was maybe 7 years old. You know, if you ever watch me before a fight, or if you run across me in the hotel or just on the regular street walk, and I'm calm, I'm the same. My demeanor is still the same. Nothing really changes. Nothing too much really rattle me. We do this in our sleep. I've been doing it forever. I'm never in unfamiliar territory. You know, so I'm definitely planning on always being in my younger brother's corner, whether I'm competing or not.
To
Being in
piggyback,
the co-main event and main event, what type of focus goes into you know, when you're in your brother's fights, first fight, second fight, and then boom, you're in your fight?
It doesn't really matter to me, to be honest with you. You know, I look at it like they're in the gym working out.
Okay.
You know, I'm still right there, giving them subtle instructions to make sure that they're picking up on the small things that I feel as though they should. I feel like as of now, at this point in their career, they should be head and shoulders better than the competition that they're competing against. I look for subtle things. I look for defensive discipline. I look for, if you're better than your opponent, be better than your opponent. A lot of these younger, up-and-coming guys, you see a lot of showboating. You see a lot of that stuff. I don't want that from my younger brothers. If you're better, be better. If you have the ability to sit there and showboat, that means you have the measure of your man. And you should be able to use that same level of energy to get the job done efficient versus showboat. You know, and that's one of the things that I look for from my younger brothers.
I was digging the fight night outfit for you and your brother. You guys kind of had a theme. What was the inspiration?
Come on, man. We do it for the culture. You know what it is,
Yeah,
man.
I gotta hear from you.
We do it for the culture. You know, our ethnicity is wonderful. I draw all my energy from my melanin. For the people that don't know who that is, you might want to Google that.
Gary, I gotta ask, I know you're at the top, so people are gonna be calling you out, but Abner Mares, as soon as your fight was done, you said, I'm calling out right now. Any interest in fighting Abner?
Abner is one of these fighters that's over the road. He just had a detached retina. I would ruin the rest of the career that he has left. To be honest with you, I feel like he's one of these fighters that I took the title from Johnny Gonzalez, the guy that he lost the title to. You know, Johnny Gonzalez knocked him out. I took the title from him 4 years ago, and now he's trying to call somebody out. Doesn't make sense. Seems like he's just willing to throw himself to the wolves to make his name a little bit relevant, or he would just make a little bit of financial currency.
How close have you been to the Leo Santa Cruz fight?
Well, a couple months back, I know the WBC made Leo Santa Cruz the mandatory challenger for the WBC, and he opted to take a tune-up fight, and he tuned up with the guy that he competed against a couple months ago. I can't even think of the guy's name. But it was weird that the guy that he competed against was an orthodox fighter. If you're preparing for Mr. Derrick Russell Jr., you're trying to take a tune-up, don't you think you should be fighting a southpaw fighter? Doesn't make sense at all.
So it's never been on a negotiating table. It's just been never on a negotiating table.
It's never been a negotiating table. The closest that we have possibly been is the fact that I knew the WBC had made him the mandatory challenger, and he opted to take a tune-up.
Speaking of the WBC, your brother has your back too, because he hustled to the locker room, hustled all the way back, and brought your belt to the ring.
Of course. You know, it'd be like that. You know, both my younger brothers competing. It's a lot of stuff going on at once, trying to make sure my younger brothers have everything they need. You know, trying to keep my father at ease, because he's on pins and needles more than anybody else in the world, you know. So it's a lot of factors that goes into it. So little stuff like that tend to happen.
Hey Gary, congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
Within the next 48 hours, is it relaxation or is it back into the gym?
Oh man, I'm gonna be home with my wife and my children. Come Monday, 9 times out of 10, I'll probably be back in the gym. I'm not training as if I'm getting ready for a fight or anything like that. I'll probably just be on the treadmill, slight working, you know, just greeting the younger gentleman that's in the gym that works out in our gym, just to show them, you know, the dedication, the hard work. You know, even though you win a fight, you're still right back in the gym. No days off. We don't take off. You can't be lackadaisy. When you do that, that's when you end slip it up.
Can we get your reaction to your Olympic team partner, Deontay Wilder, tonight?
Man, that was what's up. That's my man. That's my man. You know, it was so funny during the press conference the other day. He had told me, he was like, Gary, man, it was so funny because he was like, man, on the Olympic team, we both know. This is a conversation we was having amongst each other. We was actually on stage. He was like, we both know, man. He said, I felt like you were one of the best guys that was on the Olympic team. And I was the least experienced one on the Olympic team. He said, I felt myself, he said, I seen myself looking up to you. And then I started laughing. He started laughing. He said, well, you know what I mean. Because it was funny, you know. But it was funny. He said, now look at us now. Perseverance, hard work, dedication. Now we are both currently the longest reigning champions of the day, hands down. That speaks volumes. I'm glad that he got the win. I'm excited. We both held onto our straps.
Last question, guys.
Hey Gary, would you say on this card, it's had not just the hardest puncher in the division, but also one of the fastest guys in the sport? Power and speed, would you say?
Oh, of course. This was a hell of a card. You know, you actually had, to the people that don't know, it was 4 Olympians on this card. Deontay Wilder, who was one of my stadium mates. I was an Olympian, of course, we was on the same team. And the guy he competed, Dominic Brazier, was an Olympian. And also my younger brother, Gary Antoine Russell, was a 2016 Olympian. You know, so it's a lot of pedigree that was on this card tonight. You know, in Showtime, they did their thing. They picked the fights right, you know, and it was a good showing for everybody.
Your brother's there, your dad is here. Can you elaborate more, since we have a broader audience, as it relates to why for the culture?
Say it one more time.
I said your brother's here, your father's here. Why your ring entrance? Why for the culture?
Why not? Why not? Why not? You know, I pour my energy from my ethnicity. The people that don't know, you know, like I said, the people that don't understand the word melanin, Google it. You know, this is where we pour our energy from. It gives us access to a different form of energy than anyone else on the face of this planet. You know, and I believe that, and I live behind that. You know, and that was one of the things that we wanted to put on display. If anyone actually had an opportunity, because we was passing out some CDs and stuff like that. If anyone in this room got those CDs, that would definitely further elaborate on what I'm talking about.
Thanks, Gary. Appreciate it.
Thank you, y'all. Appreciate it.
Congrats, man. Both of you.